20 freaking 5. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. That is like literally the only thing that I can like think of when it comes to this freaking year for our brother. This year for me was everything. It was I experienced every emotion possible this year. You know, I talked about some of the stuff that I was going through in a few vids this past year. Some stuff I talked about on stream when I do, my little comfy, wholesome Wednesday type deals, whatever. But this year was, I'll say this: the fact that I was able to get through this year with all of the stuff that I was going through, some shared, some behind the scenes, and I'm still smiling right now. That is a testament to, I feel like, how mentally tough I have become throughout the years. And despite me being incredibly hard on myself, uh, how thick my skin has gotten over the years as well, because I was tried in a multitude of ways this year, man. You guys know this was my first year, really experiencing living on my own, doing, what I have done literally since 17 or 18 years old, and essentially accomplishing my biggest dream slash goal that I had for myself since I was fresh out of high school, which is doing what I do right now, doing what I love to do for truly a living. Like, I've been doing this full time since 18, 19, but I was always still living at home. I was always still with mama, in her house, still trying to make this junk work. Actually being able to step out of the nest and go out into this world right now, which we all know the price of living right now is insane. It's very hard to even if you have a job, it's like a 9 to 5 job and you're full time, it's still hard out here to make it on your own. So the fact that I was able to step out of the nest and now entering into year 2 of me doing this junk on my own, with me doing the stuff that I love to do for a living, accomplishing this dream slash goal of mine. Listen, I'm hard as hell on myself. Everyone that truly knows me knows that. I have to give myself a pat on the back right now. And I feel like whatever you guys have been going through this year, sometimes you just actually have to step back and be like, okay, what am I truly doing right now? Like, what, how we're always like looking at the things that we're lacking from life, or the things that, we failed at. Sometimes you actually have to step back and be like, okay, what have I actually achieved this year? What's some good things that happened? We always like to focus on the bad stuff. What's some of the good stuff that I actually have done this year? And that is one of the things that I got to give myself a pat on the back for, because with all the stuff that I was going through mentally, it was very hard. And just for a warning, I may or may not tear up multiple times during this vid. I mean, you guys know how these mental state checks are. Like, I get really like open and honest. So one of the things that I really felt like that was a huge obstacle mentally, that I was, well, not even just mentally, but like just what was like actually going on. I feel like when you are chasing a goal that you have, or like a dream that you have, we're always focusing more so on like getting there than the actual journey it takes to like we're focusing on the end results rather than the actual journey that it takes to get there. And sometimes the journey that you take to get to your goal is actually more important than the actual goal. Hold on, wait. That's a time. Wait, hold on. So, wait. I said sometimes the journey that you take is actually more important than the actual goal itself. Because one thing that I felt like I was really just confused by, and I was trying to find the answer, like, yo, what is going on? When you achieve something that you've been chasing for a long time and you get there, a lot of times it never feels like what you thought it would be like. Like, you would think that when you have been busting your ass for years to get this job, or, get this house, or, get this opportunity, whatever it is, you would think that you would have this like euphoric feeling of, oh my gosh, I reached it, or like, oh my God, my freaking life is about to change and get lit. And like, for a moment you might feel like that, but then once it actually sets in, sometimes it just doesn't feel like what you thought it would feel like. And that's kind of how transitioning into having my own place felt like for, like, if I'm being honest, I didn't really feel like I was enjoying living on my own here until at least, like, truly enjoying. It took me 9 months. The first, like, damn near a whole year for me to like truly feel like, okay, I'm somewhat getting settled in and used to this junk. It took me damn near having a baby over I'm just saying, like, over the time span of 9 months. I'm damn near pregnant, and that's how long it takes me to actually settle down into this place. I felt like something was missing. I was not happy. I was depressed. There was a lot of like other things going on, but I was not happy here. I was depressed. I felt alone. I felt more stressed out than ever before. I felt this pressure now that, okay, you wanted this, right? You fought for years to get to this point. Now that you have it, now what? And I felt like something was missing. I was not happy and I was confused. I'm like, how can I have fought this long to get to this point? I'm starting to get a little emotional. How have I fought this long to get to this point and I still feel like unhappy? And I don't know. I was really like deeply confused by that. I'm like, I actually don't understand what's going on. And then I was going through freaking content creation burnout at the worst possible time. I just got this place. So now all of a sudden the pressure is on, like, okay, you got big boy bills now to pay. Like, now you gotta make a certain amount of money in order to freaking live. The freaking pressure is on. Like, the lights are on, and all of a sudden I'm going through content creation burnout. I need to step away from the internet. I need to get away from YouTube. I need to get away from Twitch. Having people involved in my life is freaking draining the hell out of me. Getting on camera and trying to act like I can't even do the laugh right now. But doing whatever you have become accustomed from me on camera to do was all of a sudden becoming more challenging than it ever has been. And I'm like, yo, this is a horrible time to be going through this junk right now, because in order to do the stuff that I do for a living, my mind state has to be in a good spot. I have to always be thinking like in a creative form. I always have to be like, like the mind has to be in a positive place, not a bad place. So when your mental is really going through it, doing this content creation stuff, not only does it affect you literally mentally, it quite literally affects you financially because that's how you make your money. So it was all coming at a bad time to where like I'm experiencing, and I've experienced burnout multiple times while doing this jump, but I never had the pressure of like at least I had the a cushion of like, well, I don't got too much bills to pay because I live with my mommy and daddy. So I didn't have that same pressure. Now that I'm out of the nest, I have no one else to look at to but myself. Like when I fail or when I can't make a certain quota, who am I supposed to go to? I don't have a boss. I don't have like a co-worker to lean on. It's just me. And I'm going through all this when I just got my first place. You could not imagine the freaking pressure that I was feeling, the depression that I was feeling, literally just accomplishing my biggest life's, like literally my life's work almost. I never went to college after high school. I literally knew in high school, I cannot do this 9-to-5 life. I can't. I cannot do it. And I was dead set on making this content creation thing work. Now, I'm not the biggest YouTuber, streamer, content creator by no means. If anything, I still feel like I got something to prove. To be honest, experiencing what I felt after I just thought that I just hit the absolute milestone of my life of what I was working for and feeling like that. I mean, I said how I felt, but I don't really know if I could quite frankly put in words. It's something that you have to experience. And that's stuff that I was going through behind the scenes. On top of that, I had a relationship that I was going through. First relationship ever. And you know, it was on the freaking internet and it got messy, and that was also a that was also a huge thing. So I'm going through all that I just described. Now I'm going through a relationship that's on the that's on the internet, and you know, mistakes were made. Where does that come from? Mistakes were made. It comes from somewhere, but mistakes were made on both sides. That really also affected me. And I have to talk about, I can't get into details of like truly what happened, like truly, but I mean, just imagine, I'm a late bloomer. My first relationship is what, at age 33? First relationship ever, first girlfriend ever. And it ended up being kind of a train wreck. And it's also tied into the freaking internet stuff. And I have other people involved, like trying to get the tea of like what my relationship is. And I just explained what I was going through with actually just accomplishing my like dream goal of mine that I've been chasing for years. Dog, like, I wish I could share some stuff. Just imagine that. You're going through all of that, and then your first relationship ends up being kind of really messy. And then on top of that, you got a bunch of people in your freaking like, yo, game of smashing. Yo, like, oh my God, he lost his virginity. You got people like that that's trying to know all the freaking tea. There's toxicity going on both sides. And then on the other side, every time something is going wrong, information is being shared to other people that got no business being in our business. It was the most, at the time of everything else that I was going through, one of the most infuriating, soul draining things. And part of me felt like a failure. Like, here I am really, really trying to make this junk work. And point blank period, it takes a lot for a relationship to like, especially these days. Relationships in 2025? This junk, listen, the way people move today, this junk takes so much work and effort and like both sides compromising in order for it to work. But when you got a relationship that's on social freaking media these days, as a guy and as a woman, but as a guy, dog, you know, it can be one of the most infuriating things. So I literally felt like I was thrown into the lion's den after being completely untouched for 30 plus years, new to all of this. And then all of a sudden, I'm thrown out into the ocean of sharks and experiencing like, yo, this is how the dating game is? This is what men be doing. This is what women be doing. Suckers knew that I was in a relationship. Suckers knew that she was in a relationship and they didn't even care. They didn't even care. I was getting tried by a women. She was getting tried by guys. It's freaking crazy. As soon as you get into a relationship as a guy, all of a sudden now women are like damn near throwing the pussy. I'm like, where was this before? Where was this before? When I was single, freaking dick dry. Now you want me? It had to be incredibly frustrating for her. On her side, I'm doing all this stuff for her behind the scenes. I listen, I can literally, dog, I got so much tea to spill, but that's really not what this is about. But I did have to add this into what I was going through this year because it did have a huge effect on me at the end of the day. Like it just did. But I cannot get into the meat and potatoes of what was really going on. The tea is piping hot, sis. Clock it. Also, during this time, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, not only to, make this relationship work, but also with my loved ones around me, my mom, sisters, uncles, aunts, cousins, whatever. I don't know why I was doing it. Like, I really don't, but part of me just always wants to help people. Period. Like I've just always been like that, especially as I'm getting older. But I was putting this immense pressure on myself, like wanting to help others so much during this time that I was neglecting myself. And I don't even know why I was doing it. Like I was focused more so on other people around me, so much so to where it's like, when I would actually just sit down and have moments with myself, I would break down in tears. I don't know if y'all heard that saying you can't pour into other people's cup when when your cup is dry. I was trying to pour in all these different people's hands and in their cup while I had nothing to give. And I had to I damn near needed therapy. I mean, my sisters and mom might argue I still need therapy this year, but at that time, it was just I was so focused on other people's well-being. And this is a multitude of people that I essentially abandoned. I essentially abandoned myself. My mental state at this time, when I tell you, I don't know if you guys have experienced luckily I've been, well, I said luckily. I don't know if I should say luckily, but luckily I've been depressed many a time, many a times throughout my life. So this wasn't a new thing for me, but this was different because it's coming at a time to where I should be at an absolute high, and I'm experiencing depression still when I'm thinking yo, I fought for this. Why am I experiencing all of this stuff? So, but I was in a deep depression, which led to sometimes when I would stream, I would always break down in tears, and my Twitch viewers would be like, yo, this nigga always crying. Every time I check, I freaking check this stream, this sucker crying now, right now. And that's why I was going through so much shit that, I'm a secretive person. I mean, y'all know a little bit, because of the relationship stuff, but it was so much other stuff going on and some things that I can't even share, nor will I ever, that I was literally broken from within. Broken. And again, in order to do this content creation stuff, if your mental is not in a good state, this junk is hard enough to do as is. If your mental state is shot and you're not taking care of yourself, this junk comes with a lot of like, yes, this junk is fun as hell to do. And if you're doing it at a successful level, this junk it could be considered the dream job. But the behind the scenes of this junk and what it can do to your mental health is something that I feel like is not talked about enough. And my mental health this year was shot. And I was so confused because, again, it's one thing if, like, you know, you starting from like the bottom and you trying to like get there. It comes with like a lot of pain, sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears. But when you fought your whole life to get to this point and you reach this freaking, you know, peak of it, and you're still experiencing all this stuff when you thought it would be the complete opposite, it leaves you in a state of like, excuse my language, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, what is going on? So, man, I was questioning if I could even still keep doing this thing. Again, like I had said at the very beginning, I still feel like I have something to prove with this junk. Like, as long as I've been doing YouTube and Twitch, like, part of me still feels like, yo, I haven't gotten my just due yet. Like, I feel like, you know, not that I want, like, I never, ever, I thought at one point, like, I wanted to be like a big YouTuber. I never want to reach, like, for example, Kai Cenat levels. Never. But I do want to, you know, I do still feel like I have something to prove. I do still feel like I want to achieve more and more. But I just want to, but again, even with that, I was questioning, yo, this is another thing that humans just do. When we achieve something, we still feel like we need that next thing. Like, why is it always like that? And I was asking myself, am I being selfish? Like, am I selfish to still want more? I just achieved one of my biggest goals and dreams in life, and I still feel unsatisfied. Like, why am I feeling like this? But the fact of the matter is I do still feel like I have something to prove to myself. I do still feel like I want to get more and more successful at this junk that I do. But then the flip hand side of, but the other side too, that is, should I be feeling this way? Like, should I still always constantly be wanting more? You know how they say, like, you can never have too much money. You got a bunch of people that got freaking millions upon billions of dollars and they still want more. They need more. I need it. And I'm like, is that what's going on with me? Should I like just be content with what I have instead of just always wanting more? I feel like that's something that a lot of people ask themselves. A lot of people have a job. A lot of people have a roof over their heads. A lot of people have, you know, loved ones around them, but yet they still feel like my life is not good enough. We always constantly is looking for something else. And I was experiencing that too this year. Like, I don't feel happy. I need something else. And I'm questioning, should I be feeling this way right now? That's something else that I was going through. I was going through like a lot of stuff, like mentally, spiritually. Like I was going through it all. Video games. There's been multiple moments to where I was burnt out from playing games. This was another one of those years. Most times now when I play games, it's only when I'm streaming. Like, I mean, I still do sometimes play games like off stream, but lately it's been getting to the point where it's like, if I'm not doing something that's content creation like driven, I'm not playing games because I need to escape from looking at a screen. Again, this junk is freaking amazing to do as a dream job, but when literally every damn second of your life for freaking 8 to 10 hours a day, you're either trying to think about content, recording content or freaking editing content, or on YouTube or on Twitch or on TikTok or on this site or on this site, and that's literally just what you do every day, you absolutely need to have a healthy disconnect away from this junk. So a lot of times now when I'm not streaming or I'm not doing like YouTube stuff, I am literally like almost running away from doing this junk and playing games because I need to escape. This is not me when I'm 18, 19 in my early 20s and I could just talk about and pretend to be hyped for every freaking game that comes out. We all know gaming today, it ain't even as lit as it used to be. So it's extra hard to like act fake excited about all this gaming news that comes out that really doesn't interest me. Why the hell should I care about how many units Xbox has sold? Why the hell should I care about how many units PlayStation has sold? I don't care about this shit. I don't. I really don't. Like, now when something in gaming happens as actually it like brings my interest and like brings back that passion that I have, you can clearly see it in a vid, and it'll like happen just kind of naturally. But forcing this junk as a 34-year-old man now, after everything that I just shared with y'all, it was not happening. It just was not it was not happening. So yeah, gaming was also getting affected by all the stuff that I was going through. And sometimes like I'm like, yo, I don't even feel like playing this game, but it just came out, and I'm a gaming channel, so I have to talk about this junk. So let me try to talk about it. But the passion was just not there. Like, I'm just waiting for freaking GTA 6 out of this moment. I'm just waiting for Wolverine. Just giving me those two games and I can die peacefully. Like, that's kind of how I felt. You round all that up. You add all that in together, and I still feel this junk currently. It led to me having a deep, deep exhaustion of life. There has been at least 3 times this year to where I'm like, yo, I'd be fine if I don't wake up. Like, no joke. I would be fine if I don't wake up and I just die. Like that's truly how I felt. And again, this is happening all while I should be at the absolute like peak, the freaking mountaintop. I just achieved my life's dream of doing what I do full time and have my own place to do it, my own space to do it, and I'm still feeling like this. It wasn't a depression. I think is, and I was talking about this on stream, it's something that not even sleep can solve. When you just have like a deep, deep exhaustion of life and you just feel tired. And it's not even, it has nothing to do with sleep. You could freaking sleep for freaking 15 hours and still wake up, move around for like 1 to 2 hours and still feel like, yo, I'm tired as hell. I'm tired as hell. You just feel like it's something from within that is just so tired of like doing it every day. You just feel like, the only thing that I can describe it as is like a deep exhaustion of life. Like, you almost need to go into a coma for like a year or 2 just to escape this shit. Like, that's the only way I could describe it as. Some people might know what I'm talking about, but that's what it was. Because like, I thought I was sleep deprived or something, so I would try to get more sleep. I'd wake up, I'd get a good night's sleep. I try to fix my sleep schedule and stuff. After moving around for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, my eyes just felt strained. I felt tired. Soul felt crushed. I'm like, yo, why am I even doing this? What is the point of all this? Like, why the hell do we wake up and do this junk? Like, every freaking day. And, some people I can already see they gonna leave in the comments, bro, you need to start a family. You need to get kids. Why the excuse I'm about to. Why the hell would I even want to entertain all that stuff when I'm myself personally not even in a good space? For some reason, people just have this idea when they aren't happy with themselves that you have to get into a relationship and start a family. You cannot be happy in life until you're happy with yourself. Period. I don't want to hear no freaking. Some people got this like deep obsession for some reason, especially these days when like you feel empty or like you feel like you are lacking like a purpose, whatever. And especially once you're at a certain age, then you need to start a family, Unc. Why would I even do that? You cannot be in a successful, good relationship until you are happy with yourself. I feel like there are so many people out there that are just getting into a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship because they feel that's the only way that they can become whole. That is not the freaking answer. Or like just having a kid and just thinking it's going to fix everything in your broken ass world. That's not the answer. Why the hell would I bring a kid into this world today when there's more? I could barely take care of my damn self. I could barely take care of my damn self. Why the hell would I bring a kid into this world when I'm experiencing all this junk and I'm not even happy right now? I'm trying to give that a kid the best things possible and I'm not happy, or I'm trying to be in a relationship with someone and uplift them, not bring them down with my bullshit. Like sometimes I've noticed when I do these mental state checks, there's people that always say that, bro, you need to start a family. I'm telling you, this is what, and I'm not saying that can't, be like an addition to your life, but just thinking that that's the answer when like you're feeling all of these emotions, it freaking drives me insane. It drives me insane. So yeah, it was all that I just said is everything that I was experiencing this year. I still feel this deep exhaustion of life. My mom and sisters offered me when I was like really, really going through this junk, because I was crying every day, every freaking day. We could be talking about freaking food, and then like I'm just eating the food, and then all of a sudden, and here I got my mom and sisters like, you all right? You all right? But I was so sensitive at this time to where if my mom would say something that she was going through or thinking about or just wishing that she was in a better situation, a lot of us want to do more for our parents, but we're just not able to do so. But my mom is in a good position. Like she ain't struggling or nothing like that, but it's just, again, that like helpful side of me just wanting to do more for others, like wanting to buy like a house for this person or a car, whatever, but not being able to do so. So then when she would say something that she wishes was better in her life, I would break down. The same with my sisters, the same with my friends, the same with my relationship. My mom and sisters had offered me like, yo, we will pay for all of your, because again, I'm living on my own for the first time, and they're seeing this, and you're like, listen, they put a deal for me on the table. They're like, we will give you a 3-month break. They literally was begging me to take this junk. We will give you a 3-month break. You don't have to worry about paying bills. We will pay your rent, we'll pay this, we'll pay that, we'll buy the food for you, but you have to step away from this stuff and you have to get therapy. That is what they offered me, to step away from this junk for 3 months. I think the longest I've ever truly stepped away from all this stuff maybe was two to 3 weeks. But the risk of that is, this field that I'm in, if you step away for that long and you're already not completely established, I mean, I'm somewhat established, but again, I'm not freaking making millions upon millions of dollars doing this junk. That is incredibly risky to do because people move on. You know how people on the freaking internet will move on like, bye, like, wait, who? Gamer 23. Oh yeah, I remember. Like it's incredibly risky to do, and another side of me did not want. I did not bust my ass for this long, doing literally sacrificing a social life, potential relationships, friends, being around family members, blood, sweat, and tears. I did not fight myself to get to this point of having my own place, doing this stuff just to get a handout from my mom and sisters of them. I didn't move out for y'all to pay my bills. Like that wasn't the goal for me, and they could not understand that. Just as a man, I could not accept that offer. I didn't move out so y'all could help me with my rent or help me pay a this, or like I'm so broken now to where now I have to step away just to get a freaking break away from. They was literally begging. My mom was pleading, please take this deal, please, we'll pay for you, but you have to get therapy, please, please, please. Something ain't right, Jeremy, you're always breaking down, please baby, please. I'm like, Mom, I cannot do it. She would get so frustrated. And she did not understand it. Just as a man, I could not do that. I didn't bust my ass to get to this point just to ask for a handout. I had to prove to myself in my first year that I was actually capable of doing this shit on my own. And I did that. It was in an ugly way. It was in an ugly, messed up way. But again, a lot of times to get to whatever end goal or end result you're trying to get to, is really not even about the goal itself. It's about the journey. And it's always not a straight line to get to the end. Sometimes it goes like you going through all this different turns and ups and downs and loops, and that's how you get to the end. It's not just always a straight line all the time. So I would say that's kind of been how my life has been since the beginning of time. Like every single time I'm trying to achieve something, it always happens. It might not happen at the time that I want it to happen, but it always happens, and it is never in the most beautiful way, but it still happens. So am I preaching in this video? I really don't know. Like I've been going 40 minutes right now, and I'm literally going off the top of the dome. I'm literally going off the top, finding a healthy balance with enjoying the stuff that I like to do versus time to myself. Like that is very important. Not even just with this stuff, just period. My brothers and sisters, so many of us are just waking up and all we do is work, go home, sleep, goon, repeat the same junk all over. Repeat the same junk all over again. Go to work, go home, eat, sleep, goon, do the whole junk. All like, I feel like, bro, in a way, we are all becoming drones. And now some people have it worse than others. You got some people that's just addicted to this online freaking internet BS, and they get so tied into the IRL streams, or, you know, just making content. Their whole life's work and purpose has just become like they can't even go out and actually enjoy just time to themselves. They're always thinking about content, the next vid, the next TikTok, the next stream. Or you have people that work in the real world and all they freaking do is freaking, essentially we're in modern slavery. All we do is just work. Are we actually enjoying life? Are we actually taking the time out to just sit back and be in the moment and enjoy the things around you, not always tied to the damn phone 24 freaking 7, checking in on this person or living vicariously through this person, trying to compare yourself to this person and their lifestyle and their lifestyle. This junk is deep, bro. this junk is deep, and it's something that I feel like we all ask ourselves every freaking day. Every day. To wrap this all up, dog, And this is something that's really hard to do because you have to constantly remind yourself of this junk. I still have to do it. We have to, again, it comes with balance. I feel like literally the key to life is balance, but you can still want things in your life and want to, better your life while still being content with what you have. Sometimes I feel like we too often are always like looking for that next thing, or like looking at what we don't have, comparing our lives to this person, comparing our lives to that person, and being like, man, I wish I had that. Sucker, you just got a car. Or sucker, you just got a new job. You just got you just got your first place. You're working from home, or you have a freaking family that cares about you. You're not homeless. Like, sometimes I just feel like we so often are just always looking at the bad aspects of our lives instead of like, what is actually working for me? What actually do I have in my life that's good? Even the celebrities. You see it, bro. You see how many celebrities done crashed out this year or killed themselves this year and years prior? This junk is deeper than just money, fame, and fortune, and hoes, and jewelry, and cars. Like, even the celebrities are crashing out. So don't think if you get all of this stuff that you think that you might want, that all of a sudden all your freaking all your problems is solved. Is money the key to happiness? Because this is always a topic that comes up like every freaking year since the dawn of time. Money does not make you more happy, but it does help. It does help a lot. It does, but it's not like it's going to get rid of all your problems. Even the celebrities that got millions upon millions of dollars, these suckers is killing themselves. These suckers is getting into toxic relationship from toxic relationship. These suckers is on drugs. This junk is so much deeper than like what we think it is, to where like sometimes you really just have to sit back and be like, yo, you know what? Yeah, my job sucks, but that's all right. That's all right. I'm not gonna always be here at this job. Like I'm like working toward something, and sometimes that journey again is more important than actually reaching the destination, because it makes you more strong as a person. It builds your freaking mental, and you develop character from that. So I ain't got nothing else to say, man. That is what I will leave you guys with my final vid of this year. As far as content that you can expect this year, again, I'm kind of in a tough pickle because I have a gaming channel. So, people have subscribed over the years expecting gaming content. I have been on the fence about starting a second channel for months now. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do. However, I do know with everything that I've been going through this year and in the past years, and how hard I've worked to get to this point, I should no longer be asking or doubting myself of like, yo, what do I want to like make? I'm gonna just, not just me, we should just start doing whatever the hell we want. As long as it's good. As long as it's good, just be you. You got way too many people out here pretending to be something that they're not. That will never be me, ever. So I just feel like going into 2026, I'm moving with a different energy, but it has to be strategic, because again, I am a gaming channel. This is not like I'm not talking about games. Gaming will always be the foundation of what I do. However, I do have other interests. The key is, how are you going to get other people in tune with the person that is away from the gaming stuff and whatever. That's something that I have to figure out on my own. But yeah, man, to end this junk off, whatever you guys are going through or went through this year, know that you are not alone. That's one thing that, again, we do a lot sometimes. When we're going through something, we feel isolated and like we're the only person going through this junk. No, sucker, you ain't the only depressed person out there. There's billions of other people that are depressed just like you. You're not the only person that's going through heartbreak right now. There's a billions of other people going through the same job. You're not the only person that got a bum ass job. There's a bunch of other people that's in your same position. Everything that we're going throughout whatever phase of our life, we have to remind ourselves, yo, it's not just us. But a lot of times in that moment, it feels like it is just us, and we feel isolated and feel like we're not understood and stuff like that. But the reality of the situation, it could be it's far from that. So, if you guys need to reach out to me, I don't even know how there was moments this year to where people are like reaching out to me because of how much stuff they going through and they depressed and they coming to me for answers and they don't even know behind the scenes I'm a like of this. Like, sucker, you coming to a depressed person for help. Like, I am the wrong person to be asking right now, but that is, a relationship that I have built with some of my viewers out there, so yeah, man, we're all in this together, my brothers and sisters. We all going through something. Life, yes, is tough sometimes, but we all don't know how long we're gonna be here. It's either you do this jump or you don't do it. And if you do it, stop freaking complaining all of the time. Stop crying. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. If you're gonna decide to keep living, then you freaking need to do what you need to do. It's not always going to be easy. Be yourself. Trust the process. That's really all we can ask for. Like, as long as you're doing your best every day to try to improve who you are as a person, trying to get to your next milestone, that's all you can really ask for. But don't do this junk and be so down in the dumps, always putting the blame on, well, I ain't got this because, like, always pointing the finger. No, sucker, it's you. Get up and do something. Get up and do something. And again, sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves of that in the moment because we always do want to feel like the victim. But listen, I realized at the end of the day, the biggest enemy that I was facing this year, I didn't see this sucker until I looked in the mirror. So, that's the mental state check video for 2025. Let's go into 2026, bro. Life is getting crazy, right? Life is getting crazy. AI about to take over the whole world. They're stealing our germs. They're stealing all of our germs. We about to be in Detroit become human days times. Literally. So listen, life is getting crazy right now. Keep your circle small. Keep a good head on your shoulders. Remove the toxicity from your life. Are people being an anchor to you, or are they actually uplifting you? That is the type of timing that I'm on right now. You are either an addition to my life or you are a liability. Period. That is it. So, hug my brothers and sisters. If you don't give me a hug, come here, sucker. Right. Hug for 2025. This freaking year is over and done with, and even despite all the stuff that I said, again, I got to the finish line with this junk and I'm very proud of myself. So it was ugly, but at the end of the day, I'm patting myself on the back still. So, 2026, let's all go into this junk with, I feel like we say this junk like every year. You go into the next year being like, you know what? This year I'm really about to, like, you know what? No, like I'm really about to be on my A game at like the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year you end up looking like And at the end of the year, you so beat down and tortured and so, but that's what I don't know if that's what life is or that's just what we make it. Does it have to be like that? I don't know. I just feel like we all got to start doing some deep reflection on ourselves and just what we want out of life, truly, just for us. No longer comparing ourselves to others, you know. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till my next video, my brothers and sisters, you suckers stay safe out there. Happy New Year, and I will catch y'all in my next video. All right.